Why is Ford moving towards hydrogen fuel cell vehicles?
We think the hydrogen is the fuel of the future. So we see lots of opportunities and lots of potential opportunities with this type of technology. For example, zero emissions vehicles, low signature in terms of noise. So there's a lot of great opportunities to move us. Oil independence is really a great opportunity, and also sustainable transportation in regards to keeping what you're used to keeping or driving what you're used to driving without giving up anything. And we think the hydrogen fuel cell system gives us that opportunity.
Ultimately, hydrogen is the answer. A vehicle that allows you to just use a wonderful, highly efficient fuel, hydrogen, much more efficient than the engines using gasoline today.
So what's the performance of a hydrogen hybrid vehicle?
It's actually very similar to a regular vehicle of this size. So this happens to be the Ford Focus, so we've got very comparable horsepower.
And what's it like in terms of pickup and acceleration? Because obviously some of the concerns are if I'm pulling out to pass a great big semi-trailer on the highway, I want to get by it quickly. How does this respond?
Basically, it responds much better than a regular Focus vehicle because the low end is very good. It's all electric. So the 0-30 is very, very quick. You get around 4 to 5 seconds. The 0-60 is in the 10 to 14 second range. So it's very, very comparable in the lower end and very, very comparable in the higher end. But that quick launch from light to light, if you will, or you need that little extra to pass, it's in there.
Hydrogen fuel cells produce green power. They use hydrogen fuel and oxygen from the air to produce electrical power, heat, and water, providing zero emissions. Hydrogen can be made from renewable energy sources such as wind or solar power, or it can be made from carbon-based fuels such as natural gas. Hydrogen fuel cells can eliminate tailpipe emissions of carbon dioxide and other pollutants by up to 40%.
How much added to the sticker price is it to have this option?
Right now it's about 10 times the cost.
10 times the cost. Now that's got to be a barrier in the marketplace.
It's a huge barrier.
One of our challenges is to bring the cost down so that, of course, we can have a vehicle that's affordable for consumers and profitable for manufacturers. And that's, of course, what will require this change to take place.
It's a lot of learning that still has to happen, a lot of technology we still have to develop, and we look at several iterations or several generations of this technology before we really think it's ready for the average retail customer, because there's a lot of things that we have to really finalize in terms of refueling infrastructure, service, maintenance and repair, the things that everybody takes for granted. We have to relearn some of that with this hydrogen technology.
Well, I think the technology for hydrogen availability is there today. Right? We have electrolysis, natural gas reforming, methanol reforming, and other ways of producing hydrogen. Cost is a factor there.
So when do you anticipate that Ford will be able to have these things, mass production and available for the consumers?
Well, we're doing some baby steps first. In this coming fall, or the end of the year, we're going to put 4 vehicles here in Vancouver. And it's going to be a test fleet, and we're going to learn about all those things we talked about. We're going to have real-world drivers with real-world conditions, and we're going to real-world fueling type situations. So that'll be the first major thing that we do.
It'll be a slightly different vehicle to drive, so we want to get their perceptions on how they feel about the technology. There's some benefits to fuel cell vehicles in the electric drive. They accelerate very quickly from rest. Some of the issues that we're going to need to address are the availability of hydrogen. We will have a fueling station out at UBC, but when you look at other areas and where you're going to be able to fuel vehicles on a widespread basis, it's very limited, obviously, right now.
We think around 2015 or so is when it's really going to be ready. The prices will be comparable, the performance will be unbeatable, and then of course the hydrogen infrastructure will hopefully be in place by then.
Really, we're looking at a major revolution, but we have to get through this next 10-year period through test fleets and through all kinds of applications, working with industry, working with partners of General Motors, such as General Hydrogen right here in Vancouver, or Hydrogenics, that are working on application of fuel cells in industrial types of applications, and really working to bring down the costs, improve the efficiencies, and then, of course, work with the entire refueling industry to be able to ensure that we're able to deliver the fuel and be able to move forward. So it's very exciting.